You guys, welcome to all of you to the Mudrex webinar series. And I would just want to begin by giving a brief why we have assembled here today. Quite lately, we have been coming across the board questions about, crypto tax guidelines that have come out by the government. And we are all looking forward to develop more clarity on that front. When the issue is as significant as this, our founder and CEO, Edul Patel, never misses a chance to come up with himself and address all our doubts and queries. So in this webinar, joining me today, himself, Edul is here. Hi, Edul.
Hey, Purva. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, Edul, so we are looking forward into the details and also the essentials as to how we can see, changing our crypto earnings after the crypto tax guidelines and to know about it more further. So over to you, Edul.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So thank you for having me here, guys. And it's great to see such a large audience come in here for this session. What I would love to do today is just quickly take you through a bunch of questions and answers so that, you get a sense of what's going on in crypto and then how do we go ahead from there. All right. So let me just share my screen and we'll take it ahead from there. I hope you guys can see my screen. Let's get started. So firstly, the first question that everyone has in mind is, what is the rule? What is this tax rule that's come up in India? Well, broadly what's happened is that in our budget speech and now in the finance bill in 2022, it's been decided that all digital assets will be taxed at 30%. There will be a 1% TDS on all transactions, and losses against any losses in any transaction that you do don't offset against gains that you do in any other transaction. Now, firstly, I think this is incredible that we've come to this kind of sort of tax structure. Just for someone who's been in this industry for 4 or 5 years now, just 2 years ago, there were conversations of a 10-year jail for people holding crypto. Now we've gone from a 10-year jail to a 30% tax, which is essentially the default thing that we need to do on everything and every income that we make. So I think it's a great starting point in general. So that's part one. The rule is you pay 30% tax on all digital assets, you pay 1% TDS on all transactions, and losses don't offset against any gains. Right? So now let's actually get into the specifics. Firstly, what is a digital asset? The actual description of the digital asset in the finance bill is actually very, very loose. And under it, any crypto, any NFT, or for that matter, even your credit card points come under the same definition. But for the purpose of this conversation, we'll just stick to cryptos, any cryptocurrencies that you've bought, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Luna, and so on and so forth, or any NFTs that you've purchased, or any digital asset that act as a store of value, which includes land in the digital world. So what's the 30% tax on? But effectively, the 30% tax is when you go from INR to crypto and from crypto back to INR in the same financial year. So for example, let's say you convert 100 rupees into some crypto. By the end of the year, that 100 rupee becomes 1,000. Now you withdraw 300 of that 1,000 in the same financial year. You pay tax on 300 minus 100 and into that a 30% tax, which means that you pay close to about 60 rupees in tax for that financial year. The additional 700 that you have, if you, let's say, take it across to the next year and sell it off in the next year, you pay a 30% net tax on that. That's the same tax that you would have anyways paid in this current year as is, right? So one obvious main question is that why is the government trying to tax all of this, right? Well, firstly, the question is why the government should not tax any of this. If you're making gains, of course, you have to pay tax. Like death and taxes are the only two constants in life, right? So taxes are always going to be there. But the intent of the government behind doing this is so that they can understand the scale at which this industry is. That's one part. The second part is that they want to acknowledge that crypto is an asset, and taxation is step one towards formal legalization and formal regulations in the future. So it's a great step one for the industry as such. And of course, the other third main reason is to prevent illicit activity, to prevent people from gambling, to encourage people to invest and grow their wealth in the longer run. That's basically what the government wants to do. They're saying that, okay, everything that you've been doing and trading it as a gambling system is wrong. If you're wanting to invest in it for the longer run and keep on holding your kind of sort of tokens and assets, right? Or continuously investing and adding more and more and more. When do the laws kick in? Well, the 30% tax is applicable from 1st of April. So it's actually already started. The 1% TDS, which is you pay 1% on every transaction that you do, will come into effect from 1st July 2022. The reason why it's been deferred by 3 months is because we are still waiting on clarity as to how it needs to be implemented. It's still not clear whether it's something that the exchanges need to implement, something that users need to do by themselves, or who needs to take care of it. So there is a provisioning of it still left, but the 30% tax comes into picture already. Right? And then you have your obvious question that a lot of people ask: can you offset profits made in crypto against losses made in crypto? Right? Which means that you're saying that if you go from INR to BTC, sell that back and make profits, and let's say you go from INR to ETH, sell that back and make a loss, can this profit be offsetted against this loss? The unfortunate answer is no, you can't. You need to pay tax only on the gains. You can't offset losses against gains. And this is one thorny issue that a lot of us, regular investors are against. Because at the end of the day, the same thing was there in equities. In equities, you do a profit on one stock, you do a loss on the other stock, you can just net them off and pay a net tax. That's unfortunately still not the case in crypto, but we expect this to become better over the next few years. Can losses on crypto be netted against gains in stock? No, of course not. Just like how gains in stock don't get offsetted against, let's say, or gains in property. Both of these are independent. These can't be netted together. Can losses in crypto be carry forward? No, of course not. All losses that you happen in 1 year stick to that year. Sorry, can't be carried forward. Are any deductions allowed in gains? There is actually one deduction that's provisioned. The government has said that you can deduct the cost of acquisition, which is essentially the trading fee that you give in these gains, but nothing else. We are actually still waiting for clarity as to what is defined as the cost of acquisition, but mostly you can't do anything apart from that. Then the next question is that what is this 1% TDS? And I know I'm running through quite a few of these things. So we'll come quickly to TDS now. Well, the government says that whenever you are going from rupee to any crypto, that is a transaction, and that transaction needs to charge a 1% TDS. 1% on a transaction like this might seem draconian. Actually, whenever you buy gold, you pay a 3% TDS. Whenever you buy any stock, you actually pay a 0.15% TDS, which is also called as an STT in the stock world. So again, guys, this is not something out of the world. We are already doing this across the different currencies and asset classes that we do. It's just that the number for crypto seems to be slightly high. And of course, the question is, who collects TDS? Well, if you trade crypto, you pay TDS. The responsibility as of now is of the person who kind of sort of trades this crypto. But as I said earlier, we're still waiting for clarity to come in as to who has the ownership of doing all of this. So the next question is, will exchanges collect TDS from us? Well, of course, yes, they should. But as I said, the language is still not clear. We are not sure what an exchange is and what the TDS needs to be collected on. So these are some consequences we'll have to live with for some time right now. This fee structure will kill active trading. Well, yes, it will. And that's the exact intent of the government. They don't want you to do active trading. They don't want you to do gambling. They are saying that if you want to invest, okay, invest for the longer run. They're okay with that. And that's why the tax structure is in alignment with the standard 30% tax rule. There is another question that a lot of people have, that they got an airdrop, or what other people say that they got some crypto as gift. Do you pay a tax on it? Well, yeah, of course. If you get any gifts, typically you pay a 30% tax on it. That same thing is extended over here in crypto. You got an airdrop, you got a gift from someone gave you crypto, you convert it back to INR, you pay 30% tax on it. No brainer. you traded your token on a decentralized exchange, or what we call as a DEX. Do I pay TDS on it? Yes, you do pay TDS on it. It's taxes, right? Of course, everyone has to do it. Then another question that we quite frequently get is that you used some crypto token ETH to buy an NFT. Do you pay TDS on it? As always, yes, both ETH and NFT are digital assets. You pay 1% of the transaction cost as TDS on it. No two ways around it as such, right? So now that we've spoken all about taxation, I just quickly wanted to chat about what does Mudrex offer as well. At Mudrex, we are strong believers that as crypto grows in India and world over, more and more people would like to invest in the longer run. And buying Bitcoin, buying Ethereum, buying random tokens for the expectation of a 100x return is not the right way to invest. What you would want to do is you'd want to invest in ideas, you'd want to invest in baskets. So just like how in the equities world, you have mutual funds in which you can invest in, for crypto, we've launched a product called as CoinSets, which is very similar to mutual funds, where you invest in ideas or a group of tokens. And with that, you can create long-term wealth and long-term kind of wealth creation. It diversifies your tokens, so it's less risky, and it tries to give you market returns, which means that if markets go up, you make money, markets go down, you lose money, just like how normal mutual funds do. They are created by Mudrex, rebalanced by Mudrex, and of course, custodial and set up also by Mudrex. And is Mudrex a more tax efficient vehicle? Well, actually, yes. At Mudrex, we encourage investing. So when you invest in a coin set, what happens is that we go out and purchase individual coins. When you sell those coin sets, the profits and losses inside of those coins get netted off internally. And you pay net tax only on the profit you made. And let's actually take this as an example. Let's say in one case, you bought 5 different tokens, BTC, ETH, BNB, XRP, Luna, worth 5 lakhs net. At the end of it, you made some profits on BTC, some losses on ETH, some losses on BNB, some profits in XRP, some profits in Luna. What the current tax law says that the profits, which are the BTC, XRP, and Luna profits, which net off to 60,000, you pay a 30% tax on that 60,000, which means that you pay 18,000 rupees worth of tax. Now your net gains are 10,000, you end up paying 18,000 on gross gains, which means that you actually ended up with a loss of 8,000. On the other end, when you're investing in a coin set on Mudrex, because you buy the entire coin set and you sell the entire coin set, profits and losses internally are netted off, which means that you invested 5 lakhs, you made profits on BTC, loss in ETH, loss in BNB, profit in XRP, profit in Luna, all of it nets off to 10,000 rupees profit. You pay a 30% tax, which is 3,000 only on this profit. So you make a 7,000 gain in total. And that's actually one of the very important things that we are doing at Mudrex. We are trying to make products that are easy to invest in so that they are tax efficient, they're easier for a user to invest, and as a result, they're able to grow and scale. This clarity is something that we've already gotten from multiple legal firms. Now we've applied explicitly to the RBI to get a clarification for this and an explicit confirmation on this as well. Yeah, so of course, the other question is that will Mudrex as an entity help users to account for tax? Yes, of course we will. We are working on creating products so that in one click, you can get a complete statement of account with details of all your transactions so that you can declare taxes efficiently. What more so is that we will also help you file this tax directly. And these are some features that we are working on launching. And as the year progresses and as we come to a financial year end over the next year, these are some of the things that we will, of course, work on implementing. So yeah, guys, that's like a quick summary. Happy to go into questions, and I can see that there are already a bunch of questions over here that people are asking. Apurva, why don't you pick them one by one? And
yes, Edul, I'm just coming over to that. I can just say it. Edul, we have a question from Prathmesh. She's asking, how are you planning to collect 30% tax? Will it be via Mudrex or will it be investors' responsibility to declare taxes? Also, same query on TDS.
Yes, Prathmesh, right now, the way taxes work is that it's the responsibility of the user to end up paying taxes at the end of the day. And this is actually also true for most of your, let's say, equity buying and selling. At the end of the day, you have a net declaration and that you need to pay. TDS is something that we are still working on clarity for. For TDS, we are waiting for approval from the government whether we need to collect or someone else needs to collect. And once that clarity is there, we will do it. Harsha says even 1% ask for Mudrex coins and mints. Mints taxation is different that in coins. Actually, not so, Harsha. The 1% is at every transaction, so all the taxation reference is similar because at the end of the day, you go from USDT to INR.
Also, there are a bunch of questions that are lined up. Let me just
absolutely go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi guys. So Siddharth is saying to everyone, I have the following queries. Okay, Siddharth, we are looking forward to it. Just a second. Yeah. So are the following events taxable? If yes, how they are taxed? Wrapping and unwrapping, bridging between blockchains. I take a crypto loan in stable coins and convert it to fiat. And how are the following events taxed?
Correct. So Siddharth, these are actually fairly advanced questions, and exact answers to these, I don't even think the government of India has, but these are exploratory. But I can tell you the principle. The principle is that when you go from INR to crypto and you come back from crypto to INR, if there is profit that you make on this leg, you pay a tax. If you don't make a profit or you make a loss, then there is of course no tax. Now, there are wrapping and unwrapping is actually a crypto to crypto part, which effectively means that you from INR you go to one crypto, that you wrap, you unwrap and come back. This wrapping and unwrapping typically has no explicit taxation mention. Bridging between blockchains is very similar to wrapping and unwrapping, so ideally there should not be a taxation over there. Taking a crypto loan in stable coins, converting it to fiat, from that crypto going back to INR or going back to crypto and then netting it off in INR. I actually do think that this crypto loan part will be taxed because of the way the government has defined it. Crypto loan is something that the government does not acknowledge today. So it might be taxed, but that is something that you will need to get clarity on from your financial advisor. Unfortunately, not something that I can do, but we will definitely at our end try and figure this out and tell you as well.
Yes.
Then there are a bunch of more sessions over there. Airdrops. So airdrops I already covered. Airdrops is a gift. If it's a gift, when you sell it, you pay tax. So it's a tax. Providing liquidity, and when you get rebalanced, removing liquidity. When you provide liquidity to an exchange, you typically earn some free crypto on top. The free crypto on top that you're getting, that needs to be taxed for sure. Taking liquidity provision rewards. Again, all of these fall under the same category of airdrops. You're getting some free revenue. That revenue, when gets converted to INR, you need to pay a tax on it. So these are, of course, things that need to happen. Are there free tools or software? We are actually working on these tools, Siddharth. It'll take some time, but 100% sure before the financial year ends, we will give you these detailed tools of accounting.
Edul, I'll post more questions. Shaunak is asking, does Mudrex provide API support for tax compilation?
We don't do right now, Shaunak, but we will. We are actively working on that product. And as I said, taxation is something that will happen at the end of this year. So we've got significant time to get there. We plan to launch this tool sometime around September, October, so that you start getting an understanding of how your tax structure is, and then also start getting an understanding of how things will be taxed in the future.
Edul, next question is from Argya. He's asking, if I convert my other coin profit into USDT, will I have to pay 30% tax?
The way it is defined, Argya, right now is that if you convert coin profits to USDT, you don't pay a tax on it because USDT is also a crypto. So the taxation comes into picture when it goes from INR to crypto, crypto to INR.
Hey, Dev, posting your question right here. Hey, Edul, Devrath here. Nice to see you again. Crypto is known for its anonymity. How is the government planning to track hidden assets on non-custodial wallets like Ledger or MetaMask? If how, can the government track down these?
So Dev, as I said, the intent of the government today is not to track hidden assets. Their intent is to understand the size and scale of the industry. And then whenever you are booking profits or losses, tax that. Any assets that you have, they don't realize value until you convert them to INR. Whenever you convert them to INR, you'll have to pay some form of tax on it today or in the future. That's how you should think of it. The intent of the government is not to go after you trying to figure out what exactly money you have and so on and so forth. The intent is to just understand what the size of the industry is, and as time progresses, we will get more clarity on this. The other part of the story is actually it's really difficult to track and figure out what's there on your Ledger wallet or your MetaMask, and so on and so forth. Anonymity is a tenet of crypto. It's a tenet of crypto till you don't know who the wallet belongs to. Once you know who the wallet belongs to, everything is public.
Edul, we have a question from Joe. He's asking here, if I transfer my money to a friend overseas and I received crypto in return, should I pay 30% tax on profit or whole crypto that I received from my friend? How government will track this?
So Joe, it's essentially a matter of how you declare it. One interpretation of this is that if there is, if you transferred money to someone, you gave it as a gift. If you got crypto back, you got your crypto back as a gift. Gifts in India can't be netted off against each other. So if you're giving one gift and you're receiving the other gift, gains and losses can't be netted off. You'll actually pay 30% on the entire transaction that you did. That's why it's best to do this via an entity like Mudrex, so that you can just use INR to purchase crypto in India via Mudrex and then sell it off again, so that you don't need to pay unnecessary tax on the gift that you are getting.
Naresh is asking, if you're doing P2P transactions, then how they will track like Binance and Mudrex, those?
Yes. So these transactions, Naresh, will be tracked on all of these exchanges. And as I said, transfer of money from one to the other is actually a gifting setup. P2P is not really the best or the ideal way to do your transactions, because what you're actually doing is you are saying that I'm gifting some crypto to someone and that person is giving you INR. That INR conversion will be accounted for as revenue. So you will have to pay tax on the entire 30%. As far as our understanding of how the tax law is written, P2P is not encouraged. You would need to do, or you should use entities like Mudrex to do your transactions. That's the better way to do it as such in the current understanding of the law. But as we speak, the law is evolving. So maybe there is some clarity that comes in for us.
Edul, we are having some queries from guys. They want to actually speak and ask one-on-one question from you. So I'll just try this. If I can maybe unmute Panthu, Siddharth, they want to interact with you on one-on-one. Should I let me just see.
Yeah, but we'll stick to one odd questions only, guys, because then there are just too many people here. So
yeah,
it's better to always put it in chat.
Yes, and let us just finish the questions first we have. I think we have Shahs also, wonderful session. So he's saying, wonderful session, guys. Wish to ask, apart from the 1% TDS, if I buy some crypto and give it to somebody, I won't have to pay any taxes if I gift it to someone? Will I have to?
So actually, you don't need to pay any tax apart from the TDS. The transaction cost is there, but you don't need to pay any tax. But the person who receives the gift, when they convert it back to INR, they need to pay a tax on it. And this is actually fairly normal. Again, if let's say you bought a gold coin, you gifted that gold coin to someone sold that gold coin and accounted it for as revenue, they don't have to pay a tax on it. It's identical. There's no difference from that understanding or that perspective. So yes, the other person will need to pay, not you.
Yes. Edul, we have questions from Satyajit. I think he has posted multiple questions. Let's just take it one by one. Will the customer's tax liability be affected when there is internal rebalancing the coin set?
No, Satyajit, not really. Simply because you are not buying and selling again and again. It's not happening from your account. And that's the beauty of coin sets. It acts as a net product where the transactions are not happening from your account directly. So it's not liability that way. So you don't need to pay anything on it.
The second question says there is a reference in Parliament response that one digital assets can't offset another. Do you think CoinSet and Mudrex Mint as a single consolidated digital asset?
These are all separate individual products. They get netted off when you invest in USDT or invest from USDT. It is still fairly early to say how these will be netted off against each other. But today it seems likely that your profits and losses will be netted together over there.
Third question is about, Mudrex Mint. Edul, he's asking, will Mudrex Mint also be affected by 1% TDS?
Not really. The 1% TDS will come into picture only when you do INR to crypto and crypto to INR transactions. The crypto to crypto part is still fairly unclear. A lot of the questions actually on TDS are fairly unclear simply because the government is yet to come back with clarity. They've given us a date till 1st of July. So maybe we'll have another session on the first week of July to answer a lot of the TDS questions. But yeah, guys, these are some things that we are also asking because we need to figure out how do we tax you all.
The other question is about Mudrex algos. How does taxation work there?
identical as mints, you pay a net 30% tax when you go in and out.
Yes. So we have one question from Kunal. Can the losses from the previous financial year be carried forward to this financial year because this tax provision is applicable?
Unfortunately, not, Kunal. And to the extent that if you have some crypto that you bought in the previous financial year, when you sell it off in this year, you will have to pay a 30% tax on whatever amount you sell off. So unfortunately, it won't be.
We have a question from Vignesh. Edul, he's asking, seeing the situation right now, you people are assessing, you people can provide us the advice. What should we do right now regarding crypto?
Well,
he's asking what should we exactly do now by seeing this situation?
Well, buy and hold for long, wait for the year to end. Once it's closer to the end of the year, talk to your tax consultant and look out for tax tools that Mudrex will launch to help you out. That's basically what you need to do. The default thing is don't panic. Like, please don't panic.
Dev has another set of questions, a little different. He's asking, top members of the government are still not accepting crypto so much. Do you see the possibility of a law, new ban or maybe reversal, something of that sort?
Societal acceptance, Dev, is a long drawn process. It takes years and years and years. What I'm happy with is that in under 2 years, as I said earlier, we went from a 10-year ban or a 10-year jail to a 30% tax. The beauty is that a lot of the senior leadership in the government and a lot of the senior folks who are understanding of what crypto is and the power of the technology and the power of the asset class are very receptive and are very progressively thinking, which is why we were able to come up with this 30% tax law. As time progresses, I only think things will get better in the longer run, not in the shorter run. Maybe there are some debacles that happen in the shorter run. In the longer run, however, it's supposed to get better. So buy crypto, hold it for the longer run, invest in it for the longer run. There's no point in timing the market and going in and out.
Edul, we are lined up with more questions. I am trying to buy your time. So Joe is asking again, are there any plans to reduce platform transaction fee considering we have to pay 1% TDS now?
Yes, our platform transaction is anyways the lowest in the country, Joe. We are one of the most cheapest products out there for you to use. But having said that, we will continue to reduce it.
Okay. Harish is asking, assume that I purchased crypto in UK and I transfer the crypto to India now, after which I sell and make some profit. How will I pay the tax? Will it be on the entire crypto or only just on profit?
It's on the entire crypto. It's fairly straightforward. It's on the entire crypto.
Okay. How Shaunak is asking, Edul, how will it be feasible to provide liquidity with 1% TDS? Won't the order books dry up?
Yes, and that's what we are already seeing. It will become difficult. And as time progresses, hopefully this 1% TDS will get reduced. Providing liquidity will become a problem. That's why you will see spreads wind up. And that's why for exchanges, it will continue to become more and more and more difficult as time progresses.
There is a different question coming from Pratmesh. He wants to know, how is it going like for us? He's saying kudos on the session. One question on the user behavior on Mudrex post the tax news. So how it has changed? He's just asking.
Pratmesh, we are killing it. And genuinely, that's because the product at CoinSet is very easy. Most users understand how to invest in mutual funds. The CoinSet product is built very similar to how mutual funds are. And with all the additional benefits of taxation and so on and so forth, it just makes a no-brainer for you to, if you're looking to invest in crypto, grow your wealth for the longer run, then CoinSet is the product that you would want to use.
Edul Siddharth is asking, if I store my profits in USDT and not convert into INR, do I need to pay the tax?
No taxes, Siddharth. Tax only if you convert to INR, because till you convert to INR, there is no currency realization. If it's not realized in any currency, what are you paying tax on? So as in the spirit of the law and in the verbiage of the law as well, the accounting is when things get converted to INR. So when you convert to INR, you pay tax on that.
Edul, one question regarding CoinSet. Argyas is asking, in case of Mudrex CoinSet investment profit, if I don't withdraw my profit by selling my position in CoinSet, will I be taxed?
Even if you withdraw your profits, Argya, they will get netted off in USDT. You can still continue to invest that USDT into some other CoinSet. It's only until you remove the entire money and go back to INR, take money back in your bank account, that taxation will get applied on. Until you don't take everything back to your bank account, nothing is taxed.